Hi, this is Amy Romeo from the jewelry making and craft blog, amyromeo.com, and today in this video I'll be showing you how to make these very cute Santa hat and beard earrings. I'll be using a Cricut Maker, but you could also use the Explore Air 2 or the Cricut Joy, and we'll be using faux leather and heat transfer vinyl. I have the earring SVG files for you free on my blog, so I'll show you how to grab those if you want to craft along with me. Also, let me know in the comments if you would like to see a similar design for some Christmas gnomes. I have a really cute design that I'd love to share if you're interested. So if you're ready to learn how to make these Santa hat and beard earrings, let's go ahead and get started. Let me show you how to get the SVG for the Santa and beard earrings. You'll go to amyromeo.com, and then here on the main menu where it says Resource Library, you'll click on Get a Password if you don't already have a password to the library. There's a quick little form where you'll fill in your name and the best email address for you, and I will automatically send you an email with the password. Then you'll return here to the Resource Library tab, click on that, and you'll enter the password, and then it will bring you here to my library. And this is where all of my files are numbered and named. So you will be looking for design number 193, Santa with beard earrings. The number will be here, and this blue headline is what you will click on, and the download of the SVG will automatically take place. It will download to your device as a zipped folder, and you'll need to unzip it before you can upload the SVG to Cricut Design Space. Once you're in Cricut Design Space, you'll click Upload, and then Upload Image, and you'll browse to where the unzipped SVG file for this project is located on your device. You'll click on it to select it, and that will bring it here to your recent uploads row. Click on it to highlight it in green and click Add to Canvas. So you'll see there are two different versions of the Santa with beard earrings. They're in different shades of red and gray because they're all going to cut from different materials. If you wanted to cut both of these at the same time, then I wanted all the different materials to go on different mats for you. However, I don't want it to be confusing, so what we'll do is we'll cut one of these designs all the way through, and then we'll cut the second one. So let me delete the one that I don't want to cut now. I'll click on Ungroup up here, and I am going to first delete the one that is faux leather with heat transfer vinyl, and that leaves us with the SVG that's going to cut from two different colors of faux leather. So the holes are already in place. If you wanted to resize these earrings larger or smaller, then that's going to affect the size of the hole. So if you wanted to resize them, let me show you how to not cut the hole. And the way you do that is by clicking on the layer that has holes in it, and then clicking down here where it says Contour, and that will show you all the holes in the project. And to hide them so they don't cut, you can just click on them, and then they will disappear. If you X out here, you'll see that the holes are now gone. So I would only recommend doing that if you're going to punch the holes manually. I'm going to click here just to bring them right back. But that's a great little trick if you are cutting an SVG that you want to adjust the hole size. So I'm going to leave them as is, and I'll click the Make It button. And this first mat will cut from white chunky glitter faux leather. I like to space them apart just a little bit and make a note of the size material I'll want to cut to put on the mat. It's about 3 inches wide and 2 inches tall. It's not necessary to mirror these mats because the earrings are mirror images of each other. Here's the red one. This will cut from red faux leather. Again, I like to separate them a tiny bit and make a note of the size material I need to cut. So click Continue. And I'm using the Maker, but you can do the same steps in this project with the Explore machines or even the Joy. I like to use the faux leather paper thin setting. If you're cutting with an Explore Air 2, you'll need to turn your dial to custom before you can choose this setting. If you don't have faux leather paper thin as a favorite like I do with the little yellow star, you can click on Browse All Materials and search for it. So I will cut both of these materials using faux leather paper thin, using the standard fine point blade that comes on all of those machines. I like to use more pressure when I'm cutting faux leather. Faux leather is an automatic double cut, so it will cut twice for us, and I generally will repeat the cut. So you're getting a total of 4 cuts when you use faux leather paper thin with more pressure, and then repeat the cut 1 time. So now that I've got my material settings for both of these mats, we'll go ahead and make the cut. So I'm ready to cut the first version of the Santa with beard, which is the 2 layers of just faux leathers. So I'm going to be using this chunky glitter white faux leather. You can't really see that it's glittery, but it is. You can also use just regular white faux leather, whatever you prefer. I'll link to these for you in the description. I've cut a piece of the white chunky glitter to the size that I noted in the matte preview screen, along with some red. This is a smooth red faux leather, but you could use whatever you'd like. So I'm not putting a back on the faux leathers. I have a whole video showing you 4 different ways to put it back on. In the interest of time, I'm going to skip that for this video, but I will link to it for you. So if you want to put it back on, you can. So I'm going to cut the chunky glitter piece first, and I cut chunky glitter side down, and the glitter can get stuck to my purple strong grip cutting mat. So in order to protect my mat from the glitter, I like to use the Cricut strong grip transfer tape, and I just cut a little piece that's slightly larger than my faux leather that's going to cut. Peel it off of the backing, and then you're going to stick it on your mat, sticky side up, in the location that your material will cut. And then the chunky glitter will go glitter side down onto that sticky transfer tape. Press it down really well. That'll keep all the glitter sticking to the transfer tape, which you can peel off your mat, and it won't get permanently stuck to your purple mat. I'm using blue painter's tape just to tape this down really well. Now you can cut chunky glitter with any of the Cricut machines, and I have a video on how to cut it using the Joy, which I will link for you. A lot of people think that you can't cut this material with any with the regular fine point blade or with the Joy, and you certainly can. So I've got this ready to go, and what I'm going to do actually is prepare the other side of the mat. Little trick here, again, faux leather, pretty side down, tape all around with blue painter's tape, and I reuse this blue painter's tape when I'm finished cutting. I like to save it and reuse it. You can reuse it at least a few times. So I'm ready to load the white mat, the beard. So I'm going to make sure in Design Space that that's the mat that I have selected. I'm using the faux leather paper thin setting with more pressure, and again, just the regular standard fine point blade. If this is your first time cutting faux leather, or you haven't cut faux leather in a while, you want to make sure that these star wheels are moved off to the side so they don't make tracks on your material. So I'll load the mat into the machine using the double arrow button. And I can tell that it's not perfectly straight, so I want to do that again. Unload. It's really important that your mat is in nice and straight. That's better. And I'm ready to cut, so I'll press the C button to begin the cut. So now that the cut is complete, I will unload the mat using the double arrow button and remove the shapes. And you can see that the glitter is stuck to the transfer tape and not the actual mat, which is really nice. Also, I'm hoping you can see the Cricut cut the small holes for the earrings, but if they didn't go all the way through, it's not a problem because we can cut the holes manually using a 1/16 inch hole punch. So just use a sharp weeding tool, try and clean out those holes, but if necessary, you can come back in with a 1/16 inch hole punch and just make those holes manually. So I'll set these aside. Turn my mat around Again, I'm using the same faux leather paper thin setting. So in Design Space, I'll just want to confirm that my Design Space is on the red mat now. And I will load the mat. And we'll make the cut. So again, I'll use my sharp weeding tool, see if the material cut all the way through, which it looks like it did. So I'll unload the mat and remove the shapes. And you can't see where the holes are, but you can see them on the front and on the back. So again, if you can't poke the hole through cleanly, don't worry about it. Just use your little hole punch and make the holes. So what I will do is punch all the holes or clean all the holes. I'll also use my little curved scissors to trim up any fuzzies around the edge. And we have these ready to go. So now let me show you how to cut the other version, and then we'll put the earring hooks on all of the earrings at the same time. For the second Santa and beard project, I will return to my upload menu, add to canvas. Again, I will ungroup so that I can delete the earrings that we've already made. And now I'm left with the Santa and beard that we'll cut from faux leather and heat transfer vinyl. So let me show you how these different layers break down. So these earrings will cut from 3 mats. The first here will cut from white faux leather using the faux leather paper thin setting like we did earlier. This mat will cut from glitter heat transfer vinyl. So it looks white or gray, but it's not the exact same shade of gray, so that they will cut on 2 different mats. I hope that makes sense. And then this one will cut from red glitter heat transfer vinyl. So we've got 1 faux leather and 2 glitter heat transfer vinyls. So let me click continue. The glitter heat transfer vinyl I will cut from this glitter vinyl setting. I like to use default pressure and repeat the cut once if necessary. The glitter that I'm using is Caesar brand and it's pretty thick, so I like to cut it 2 times using default pressure. So now we'll go ahead and I'll show you how to cut the mats and make these earrings. And I have my purple mat again ready to go. I'm using actually this roll of white faux leather. I'll link to where I got this on Amazon. This comes in a lot of colors and I use this often in my videos. I've cut it to size. It's pretty side down, fuzzy side up with blue tape. And press C to begin the cut. Unload the mat and I'll just take off these little shapes. Again, I will clean out the holes with my weeding tool, and if necessary, I will repunch them with my hole punch. And now I'm going to cut the glitter heat transfer vinyl. As I mentioned in Design Space, I need to change my material setting to glitter vinyl, and I'm using some white glitter and some red glitter. So I've put the glitter vinyl shiny side down in the top corner of the mat here, and also the red one here, so I can cut this quickly. I'm going to repeat the cut again because this is a thicker glitter, but you may not need to recut your glitter vinyl. I'll unload the mat. I'll remove the vinyl and weed away the excess. This is actually pretty easy to weed, but you can use your weeding tool if necessary. I do need to just weed out the 2 little holes, so I'll do that. But let me get this one going. Again, cutting using the glitter vinyl setting with default pressure. And my mats are not as sticky as they were when they were new, so I will use just a little bit of blue tape to tape that down. So I'm just finishing up punching the earring holes. The nice thing about letting the Cricut cut the holes is, even if it doesn't cut all the way through, it does give you a nice marker to know where to punch. So I've unloaded the red glitter vinyl, and I'll quickly weed away the excess. I already have my Easy Press Mini warming up on the low setting because I'm going to press this glitter vinyl onto the faux leather. So I've got those ready to go. And again, there's a little tiny spot for the hole that I need to weed away. Oh, I'll do that in a minute. I've got my heat pressing pad to protect my surface and to protect my earrings. And I'll also need a Teflon sheet or some parchment paper to protect my surface. Goodness, that's a little difficult. Okay, so I've got my little parts ready to go. I'll use my little scissors here to trim these two halves apart. And you'll just want to line them up on the right location. If you didn't want to use this glitter vinyl, you don't have to. I just thought it was kind of cute for Santa. But you could cut this only with the red glitter or only with the beard, whatever you prefer. Okay, so those two are ready to go. This is a small piece of Teflon sheet that was much larger, and I just trimmed it down to size. So I'll cover up the little beard and press for a few seconds back and forth. This will be hot, so be careful. Just peel away the cover layer. If you've covered up the hole with the vinyl, then you can just come back in with the hole punch and make that little hole again. And we'll repeat for the hats. And again, I did this with glitter vinyl. You could also do solid if you wanted. Just line it up, cover with a little Teflon sheet, and press. If when you're peeling, the vinyl comes up with the top cover sheet, just press it back down, cover it again, and press it for a few more seconds. This one, it looks like I'll need to punch the hole. That's why this little hole punch is so handy. Now we have our two versions ready to go. This is the one that's the top version, the faux leather with the vinyl pressed on top. And this is the bottom SVG when you pull it into Design Space, which is just 2 layers of faux leather. So let me get the earring hooks and the jump rings ready, and I'll show you how to attach the earring hooks. So I've got my earring hooks ready to go. These are just regular earring hooks with a little loop at the bottom. I got these on Amazon. I'll link to those. And then I'm using 6mm jump rings. You could probably also use 7. I wouldn't go any smaller than 6 or really any larger than 8 or 9, just to have the earrings look cute. I'm also using 2 pair of flat nose jewelry making pliers to help me attach the earring hooks and the jump rings. So I'll show you. I've already gotten started putting on the hooks and the jump rings, but for each earring we need 3 jump rings and we need an earring hook. So the first thing I want to do is turn the bottom loop of this earring hook so that the earring will hang straight. And the way I do that is by holding the earring hook between my thumb and my forefinger, and then using flat nose pliers, I grip the edge of the loop and I just turn. And then that changes the direction of the loop on the bottom. So now when I open up my jump ring, jump rings have an opening, and I like to put the opening facing up in the 12 o'clock position, and I use 2 pair of flat nose pliers, and I just use one wrist and twist open, and I hold on to the jump ring with my pliers, loop it in the hole, and then attach the earring hook, making sure that the earring hook is facing in the right direction, and then using 2 pliers to close up the earring hook. Close up the jump ring again. It's important that you get these 2 edges of the jump ring nice and tight so that you don't lose your earring parts. So I've got another jump ring here. I will just go ahead and connect the 2 parts. I'm just folding it over so that I can line up the holes easier. And close up. And that's it. Aren't these cute? So I did want to mention with the red faux leather, if you don't like the white edge on the red faux leather, you can color that with a color coordinated Sharpie, and that makes the edges look a little more finished. So if you like these earrings, I have several holiday earring projects on my YouTube channel. If you want to just keep watching, I will start a playlist for you with all my other holiday earring designs. Most of them are free in my blog's resource library, so you can head over to my library and grab some of those. And I really appreciate you watching, and I hope you have a happy holidays.